All right. Hey, this is Walter. You know what, folks? I just did a show for the past hour. It's now 4 o'clock in the morning. I started at 3, and it's my PC laptop shut down. I couldn't start it up. It literally just shut down and did not save the show. So here I just wasted a whole hour talking about stuff. I don't even know half the stuff. So I had some stuff lined up tonight, and it keeps on cutting me off. I don't know what's going on tonight. I'm not having a good night. Good morning, I should say. Guten Morgen. So right now I'm watching, oh, God, this is going to drive me nuts tonight. This is going to be the worst show I've had in a long time. I really had a good show until the wires gave me problems, too. So this is not fun. I'm in the middle of watching McMillan Wife. It's an older show on MeTV, and the woman who plays McMillan's wife, or the character McMillan, it's, oh God, I can't even remember his name, Robert Redford or something like that. He was gay in real life. The woman who played his wife was really hot. So anyway, I can't remember. I had a bunch of stuff. I've been trying to recover what I lost, and it's a lost cause, basically. And this really pisses me off, big time. So I'm going to try to remember some of this stuff. I'm going to cut it shorter because I'm going to, at this point, I will not go to bed until 6 or 7 in the morning, unfortunately. So it's not a very happy camper. And there was a lot of stuff I'm going to have to just second guess and hope it doesn't do it again. I had that took me a while. That taken me a while too. I had 2 things lined up, 2 sound bites. One's 5 minutes long, which was Rush Limbaugh, and there was another one from Sean Hannity. It's only a minute and a half. So I'll try to go through those, and, please forgive me, but I did, lost the whole show, and there was, you normally at this point I don't have to save it. So right now I'm going to play Rush Limbaugh because the point with that was Rush Limbaugh was talking about this guy named, oh God, I can't remember now. See, I remembered it then. Now I can't remember it. Trayvon Williams, how he broke into this woman's house. And the whole gist was, because I thought it was the only one, I found this story the other day myself, not thinking that it would be national news almost, at least on the internet, and it did become sort of like that. Because I've read so many articles on this one incident. It was in Florida, that's where Rush is from, where this kid, 17-year-old kid, breaks into this woman's home. Apparently she has a surveillance system that notified her wherever she was at. She ran home, I guess, is what I assumed. And this kid was still in the house. So right away, this woman, she's a 54-year-old woman. His kid's 17. He's stealing stuff out of her house. And he's trying to, he was just ready to, escape or leave the house, whatever. But he wasn't supposed to be here in the first place. And, the woman, it's her property. It's her house. She doesn't want things stolen. She shot him once, apparently, according to Rush, and she killed him. So this kid's aunt was saying, well, that's not fair. That wasn't fair. You shouldn't have shot him. It's your fault, and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know how I worded the first time, but I just want to get this over with because, again, it's going to be really late at this point before I even get remotely close to being done. If this happens again, I'm going to be really pissed. If it, in the middle of me recording, that it shuts down. So I'll let you listen to that first, and I had it perfectly lined up the first time, but Rush was talking about that, and just, with the Democrats, how they destroyed our country so far. So here we go, and I'm going to play this right now, the one first from Rush Limbaugh, and I hope you liked it as much as I did. It was on Thursday. it was the second hour on Thursday that he played this. At first, I thought it was on today's show, or yesterday's show, I should say, Open Line Friday, and here it was. It was actually his second hour, because I get confused by that. I basically listen to stuff after he records it on my iPhone, because I basically pay for his service, his podcast of Rush Limbaugh on his website, and then I got the apps for my phone. So here we go now. I apologize. I'm just very cranky at this point from what happened. So let me know what you think, too, when you hear this.
17-year-old Trayvon Williams, not Trayvon Martin, Trayvon Williams, 17-year-old broke into a house, South Florida, to steal things, money, whatever else he could find. The security system in the house alerted the owner, who came home. And the perpetrator, young 17-year-old Trayvon Williams, was spotted by the owner of the house, a 54-year-old woman, exiting through a window. So she fired once, and young Trayvon Williams was killed. His aunt, Nikita, I forget her last name, was just appalled. How dare you? Don't you understand what it's like for young kids in the hood? Where else is he going to get his money for school and food? That's what you don't understand. He's from the hood. What else is he going to do? How else is he going to get the money he needs? He's a great kid. He loved learning. He was a great student. He was investing in his future. He had great plans for himself. And I read this, and I said, this has to be a satire piece. I said, please, don't let me fall for this. Don't let this be a satire piece and me report this. So I dug in, and and it was real. And was it the Washington Post or Washington Times that even had a story on it that you found? Well, then it was the local site that I saw had the quote from Nikita. I think her name was not Williams because she was aunt. But it was real. She actually said, how else is he going to get his money? You have to understand, he's from the hood. As though, there's two different worlds here. As though that's perfectly acceptable, and we ought to, if you have it and somebody else doesn't, and there's somebody who doesn't, lives in the hood, you have to understand this is how they get stuff. And you've got to be tolerant. So where does that come from? Where does that kind of thinking? Now you might say, Rush, that's a one-off. Pete, that's not cultural. Oh, I disagree. Profoundly, I disagree. I think our political system has corrupted so much of this country. It hasn't corrupted just the politics. It has corrupted everybody who has become dependent on the political system. Everybody. And the Democrat Party is primarily to blame here. The Democrat Party pushes dependence. The Democrat Party encourages it. The Democrat Party is who essentially tells people, you don't have a future without us. You aren't capable. You aren't competent. You're not smart enough unless we open doors for you, pave the way for you, take care of your benefits or what have you. They promote that, they foster it, and they are causing the breakup of families. They've taken over the role of husbands in way too many families. It's a mess, and the political system is right in the thick of it in terms of responsibility. I hold the American political system responsible for quite a lot. People already have, people already have a hopeful view of government, that it's competent, honest, fair, and government lives off of that. Every day they play on that. They take advantage of the fact that that's what people want government to be, so in many cases they think that's what government is. How else do you explain every one of these messes that government has made by virtue of government programs? Government, the war on poverty, the Great Society, the gigantic welfare state we have has destroyed the lives of I don't know how many Americans. It's busted up American families. So when all those messes happen, where do people turn to fix it? The very people who broke it. And so the problems continue to be compounded. And that's why, folks, I have to tell you, I don't have a lot of sympathy and patience for political people upset that some outsider may take over. Exactly what is there that the American political system, predominantly the federal political system, what is there to recommend it? Couldn't afford it. We all have to pay for their contraceptives. The government has to make everybody pay for what they don't want to spend their own money to buy.